Welcome back to National Report. The Supreme Court appears likely to rule on the side of Maryland parents who objected to elementary school books featuring stories about gay and transgender characters.
Yeah, the parents used religious grounds to support their oral argument and stated that the Montgomery County Board of Education violated their religious rights by failing to provide an opt-out for their children. We'll bring in Judge Andrew Napolitano, senior judicial analyst. Judge, before I dive right into your thoughts on the Supreme Court, just kind of wanted to paint a picture for those that aren't in Montgomery County. They may not know what these books are.
Right.
We have just a quick example. One of the books there is titled Uncle Bobby's Wedding. Features a gay character who's getting married. Another is called Born Ready. That one is about a transgender child who wants to identify as a boy. A girl wants to identify as a boy. So that is what these parents are arguing. They deserve to have an opt-out, citing religious belief.
Well, this is a profound case. This is a serious culture war, and if the Supreme Court rules, as I think they will, this will affect every state in the union. But when you have a culture war, a clash between woke versus traditional, and the most liberal member of the court comes out on the traditional side, you have a pretty good indication of which way this is going to go. It was startling to hear former Dean of Harvard Law School, Justice Elena Kagan, say, I can't believe that parents are not allowed to exclude their children from this stuff. A lot of it, even I found offensive. Now, offensiveness is not the test. The test is who controls what goes into the children's minds, the local government or the parents. And Justice Alito said, what's the big deal? Just let them opt out. Just give them another book to read, or give them another class, or teach health sciences and the science of the body in a different way. Give people a choice. So there doesn't seem to be any question in my mind which way it's going to go. But here's the key, and I don't want to split hairs here. If this is based just on religion, what happens to parents who are atheists but don't want their children exposed to this? I would argue it should be based, also in the First Amendment, on free speech and on freedom of association. I don't want my child associating with this stuff, thereby allowing all parents, whether they are religious or not, to make the determination to protect their children from all this. The other side says, well, can you opt out of a class because the teacher is gay and wears a wedding band? That's not the issue. Right. The issue is indoctrination.
Right, being taught.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, this has been going on for several years now, and so our viewers actually might be familiar with the stories of parents who say, can you believe they're teaching my elementary school-age child about something I either disagree with from my religious standpoint, or I just don't want this to happen in school. And now it's finally reached the Supreme Court.
Well, one of the reasons that I'm delighted about this is because in my home state of New Jersey, the governor issued an executive order to all public school teachers at age 7, you have to teach children that they can change. At age 7, you have to teach children that they can change their gender. You have no choice in New Jersey if you're a public school teacher. If the Supreme Court rules the way I think they're going to rule, they can basically tell the governor to go take a hike. My kids are not going to be exposed to that kind of stuff.
Some of the justices, as you know, indicated that the board's refusal to provide an opt-out might have been motivated by hostility toward religion. Some of the justices expressing disbelief that the school board found it too difficult to provide an opt-out. It was Justice Brett Kavanaugh saying this, quote, I'm not understanding why it's not feasible. Chief Justice John Roberts seemingly skeptical of the school board's argument that the policy did not require the children to support the content of the book, saying, quote, is that a realistic concept when you are talking about a 5-year-old? And that is now finally, again, bringing up age into this and what is appropriate and what is not.
Well, because in many other Supreme Court opinions involving religion, the court has taken note of how susceptible young people are to indoctrination. The Chief Justice, I don't always agree with them, the Chief Justice is right. What 5-year-old is going to have the intellect to be critical about what they're being taught. At age 5, it's just indoctrination. And my hat is off to the parents who brought this litigation. Now, look, you can't always tell how cases are going to go from oral argument, but this one seems kind of obvious, especially with Justice Kagan on the other side.
Very surprising.
We'll find out in June.